Cool. Boom. Back. Another episode of Squeeze the Neck podcast. Returning guest, big Louis Bricusse. The champ is here, fresh off a victory. Tell us, mate, what was the victory at the weekend?
So I won the interim amateur title on the FSC 30 show. It was at the O2, the Indigo, which is really cool.
Good venue, innit? Cool place.
Yeah, man. You know, I definitely. The first MMA fight I ever had was in like this school in Chatham in Kent. Yeah,
Right,
and
okay.
there was people doing gear in like the kids' toilets. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when I fought there, if you told me like, look, 2 years down the line you'll be fighting at the O2, I would have I'd been very happy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
5-0 now as an amateur as well, right?
Yeah, 5-0. It's a good record, you know.
Perfect. It's hard to do. People don't realise today. People don't realise how hard that is to do. But last time we spoke, you was going to go 5-0 and then turn pro. But after the fight, there was a face-off in the ring with, I don't know who the guy is. Maybe you'll know the name.
Yeah, a lad called Yassin Sifi. I'm sort of like, I need to speak to my coaches and find out like what we do from now. Do you know what I mean? Fight Star is a wicked show, and I want to fight on them again. And like the production they've done and all the Instagram stuff, like I'm a big fan of it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't really want to hang around in the amateurs if it's my time. Do you know what I mean? I'm feeling like pretty solid at the moment. Week to week, I'm getting better and better, and I want to start getting paid. Do you know what I mean? So like, I think if this guy is up for making his pro debut, fuck yeah. We can just fight each other. If not, it might be I fight someone else.
Yeah. And is there any benefit for you staying amateur and fighting this guy or not?
I think getting really pushed. Do you know what I mean? If it's a fight where like he's going to really push me and it's going to be like a war. Do you know what I mean? Face real adversity. That has like that can be invaluable in like your amateur career.
Yeah.
He looks like good at what he does. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty good at what I do. I don't know whether I don't know whether that's the fight, to be honest.
Yeah.
To like really push me. Not that I'd go into it like there's any like complacency there. Do you know what I mean? I just don't. I just want to fucking go pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather like.
Sounds like that's the option, doesn't it? I mean,
so,
5-0. Obviously, this one for anyone who doesn't know, this was a first round rear naked choke, minute-ish into the fight.
No, I think it was 2 minutes and 59 seconds.
Okay, sorry, so a bit longer. I exaggerate.
So it was he had a second left. But I think he went out. He like went to sleep.
Yeah, it looked
so
like it.
Yeah, if you could have held on for a second longer, it might have gone into round 2, but
he didn't. So
he
fuck
didn't.
it. So what's the situation now? Is it just a case of just talking to your coach to see what they think?
I think so. Yeah. Essentially, I'll do what I'm told. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll put across my desires. Do you know what I mean? And then it's for them to have a look at me and be like, well, you're shit here, so let's not do that just yet. Or then be like, look, it's time. Let's rock and roll.
And we spoke last time you was 30 years old. Are you still 30?
Yeah. 31 in August. So like, we know there's a shelf life on this game. Do you know what I mean? I'm not close to it yet, but you know, I'm not 23. Do you know what I mean? And I feel ready and confident and excited about the idea of going pro. So I think that's like
seems like the obvious option.
Comment
below, guys. Tell us what you think. But to me, let's go pro. Have a go, right?
Yeah,
see, and what would your plan be as being a pro? Have you got sort of timelines of where you want to get to?
I'd like to be. If I put like 4 years in like or maybe we break it up. I'd like to get to 2-0, 3-0 as a pro, and then be like knocking on the door of some of the bigger promotions in Europe. You know, whether that's Cage Warriors or Octagon or is it FNC? Like one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'd like to do with sort of like a year to 15, 18 months of being a pro.
Really crack on and get a move on.
Yeah.
And UFC's in the plans or what?
Like, who knows? Do you know what I mean? I think it's a big ask, and I'm not the best of the best at the UFC. You know what I mean? They like signing younger athletes, really, but like no cap. You know, the requisite to get into the pinnacle is working really hard, believing in yourself, winning fights, and keep winning fights. And if I keep doing that, then like that is where I'll end up.
I mean, you've had 5 in 2 years, you said, right?
Yeah.
And have they all been stoppages?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like written to time to go pro all over it, doesn't it? Fuck me. Let's get pro.
Man. Yeah.
Let's fucking petition Dana. Let's get you to the UFC a bit lively
please.
too.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah, well, fucking Yoel Romero was, I think, 36, right?
Yeah,
so,
he's an older boy.
Hey, we got time. But take us through the fight, mate, like fight night, because we spoke a little bit before the fight, sorry, like, what are you like in the change rooms? Are you quite a calm character?
I think I have like a calm exterior, do you know what I mean? Internally, like, fight day's fight day. Like, everyone who fights knows what the emotions are like, do you know what I mean? It's like there's fear, trepidation, little voice in your head being like, run, you know, there's another voice being like, you fucking got this, trusting like your abilities, and part of me gets off on it, do you know what I mean? I like that thrill and the uncertainty and the adrenaline that comes with it. I like to harness all that energy, and I do believe I don't know if calm is the word, right? There's a calmness and a stillness, but and I'm absolutely ready to go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to say it's not like a walk in the park. I'm definitely like
not skipping about and singing.
Yeah. I'm like there's nerves. I'm about to have a fight in front of a load of people with a guy who's been training for however long and is ready to take my head off. Do you know what I mean? So like I believe I feel every emotion I should feel on fight day.
Yeah. And what's the ideal world now, from now time-wise, to get back in there?
I think October. I'd like to do October.
Soon, quick.
Yeah.
And is it realistic to get sort of 5-6 fights in a year, or is that not realistic?
If you breeze through them, why not? Like,
so more quick finishes, you could be 6-0 as a pro by the end of next year.
Yeah. I mean, potentially. Again, it's like, speak to my coaches, and you know, if they were like, "There's this fight, I want you to do it," I would say yes. But like, I don't know whether I like the idea of being that active. I think 3 in a year is a good number.
I got
3, like 4 in a year. Now, there's some people at top team that will like, they will fight every week. Do you know what I mean? But whilst you're in camp, you're really honing your current skills, right? You're honing like what you're really good at. You're getting super fit. You're sparring lots. It's less about skill acquisition, right?
Yeah.
Outside of camp, I can work on all the shit that I want to work on. So if I'm in camp more months out the year than I'm not, then I'm of course I'll be getting good, but I'm not really focusing on the blaring holes in my game. Does that make sense?
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And when I come in today, like, obviously you fought on the Saturday, and you said you saw from training on Monday, so you're straight back in it. Obviously, quick fight, you didn't take much damage, or am I right or not?
No, not really. My foot hurt a little bit. He landed a pretty good low kick, but you know, you don't feel them in the fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've left sparring on a Tuesday way more banged up than I have.
So you're fresh and ready to get back at it.
Yeah,
and you said you want to go in October, but you also said you saw from lifting weights and stuff. I think you said you want to get a bit bigger, right?
Yeah. That's, you know, I could have wrestled on Monday. I think my coaches and maybe would have expected me there. Apologies, but I didn't. I did squats instead, and I had a bit of a lie-in and went calf. But yeah, I'm trying to like put on a few kegs now, build some muscle, build some more like explosivity. Welterweights, there's some big boys. Do you know what I mean? I think how much weight does Leon cut? You know, it's something like,
I don't know, but it's a lot.
Like 10 kilos in the week, and I'm in a place where I can build more muscle. You know, so it's like I'm sort of trying to focus on that a little bit now.
Would you go into camp this time, Wayne?
This probably about 84.
And what's the ideal? What are you looking to be?
I think 87, about 88, 87.
Yeah,
a lot of the boys do.
Nice little cut.
Yeah. You know, I didn't diet. Do you know what I mean? I didn't diet this camp. I started, you know, really 10 days before, I was like, okay, like M&Ms and all that shite is like off the menu. Do you know what I mean?
And you, even that close, so 10 days before, you're still able to eat. So you've got loads of room.
I was about 82. If anything, I was too light too early. You know?
By choice or just by because training hard?
It's sort of just training hard, man. I can fight, particularly in the heat. Sometimes I find it hard to, like, you know, breakfast doesn't seem appealing. You know, big meal straight after training. You know, I think the putting on the weight can be, you know, as all of it's hard. Losing the weight is hard. force feeding yourself and eating loads whilst you're training is hard. But yeah, I was a little bit lighter than I would have liked. This
Worked out all right though, by the looks
yeah,
of things.
yeah, we did all right.
Yeah. So if you get back in there in October time,
Yeah.
you'd want to be up at 88 before that, or is that too soon?
It's too soon. I'd have to
You
eat a
won't
sack
put
of
weight,
potatoes every
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
I think.
fuck that,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I can definitely, you know, if I'm fueling my training correctly, I get to 86 sort of pretty easily. With a little bit of a derby, but
Oh, do you? Because I'm quite surprised because you're quite a big frame for the weight, right? I would imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
which makes me think I can fill out quite a lot. You know, like I think I'm like a big 82 kilo, 83 kilo guy. You know.
I think you could. I mean, looking at you, I would imagine
Yeah.
you could probably get to about 90 and still be able to move, right?
Yeah,
You wouldn't be too much of a
Yeah.
struggle, right? I've been up
Which would be
myself.
great,
I'm shorter than you. I've been up
yeah.
at 91 training.
Yeah, I bet you're a unit at 91.
Big fat head and fat neck, right? Look like a
Possible
bit odd.
to take
Yeah,
down.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't a pretty sight, you know what I mean? It looks older than I do now for sure. But so if we go forward to sort of the end of the year, you definitely want to have had a pro fight by then.
Yes, yeah, I'd like to have had a pro fight.
Going into the new year, sort of making a bit of noise, weighing 88 kilos, all set to go.
It. And like, and putting my stamp on like the UK MMA scene. You know?
Get a move
like,
on and get going with it. And what's the sort of like after camp? Obviously, this one's a bit different because you're coming back and you want to get back in there and the pro thing and all that business. But typically, if you've had your first pro fight, let's fast forward. But you've had your first pro fight, you've all come out on top. It's gone basically how this last fight's gone. You're fresh. You've had a good win. What's sort of coming out of camp and getting back into a new camp look like for you in terms of time frames and whatnot?
Fairly quick. I mean, like, you know, the max I think you should have off, unless you know you've absolutely gone to war in there. I think is a week. I think you know Brad would say that's way too long.
A week's too long.
I reckon. I think you say that's too long. I think no more than a week. Do you know what I mean? And then back
just
to
a little mental freshness.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Have acknowledgement for what you did. Do some of the stuff that like you know you don't do when you're training because it's all consuming this. And yeah, back in. Do you know what I mean? I plan on getting back to it. You know, fully back in on Monday and. That'll be it, and you know.
Like camp mode Monday.
Not camp mode. You know, if something pops up on a Tuesday afternoon that I want to do, you know, I'll go and do it. Whereas in camp, none of that stuff is relevant. But you know, I'll be training two times a day, pretty much every day, and yes, serious. You know.
Got to be, ain't you? Especially if you want to get a move on it, you got to be. But let's talk about some of the UFC because that's where you're going to end up anyway, right? So. The big card was obviously the week before yours, wasn't it? We had Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, Tom Aspinall, and the Paddy fight were probably the big ones of relevance, right? There's a few other English boys on the card. But if we go through the top three, and we start at the top because the Leon Edwards one was, I mean, disappointing to say the least, I think, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched it all, but you know, I've heard enough to sort of decipher what happened. I can only think that like. Maybe he didn't sleep well, you know, the whole time thing messed him up a little bit because like Leon's counter wrestling is fucking elite. Do you know what I mean?
He literally got dumped on his head once this fight.
Yeah. So I was very surprised. I thought it was like a formality. Do you know what I mean? That fight. I thought he was going to pretty much run through. But particularly if Usman and what's his name? The knobhead. Colby. Yeah. Colby couldn't do that to him. I didn't think Bilal would, but like I guess Bilal proved like the planet wrong. So
I've got a few theories on this too. So if you listen to Leon building up to the fight, he was doing the fucking nutritionist. Not there's anything wrong with any of this stuff, but it was like nutritionist this, strength and conditioning coach that, sleep coach this, we're adjusting this time schedule. And I just think you're worrying about the wrong thing. Now it's easy for me to say from the outside, but part of me goes, you're worried about too much. Just turn up and have a fight. You know, if you listen to Tom Aspinall, which we'll talk about his fight in a minute, he was like, I'm just gonna have a nap and I'll wake up and it'll be all right. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes you can worry about the wrong things.
There's a lad at top team, Nathaniel Woods, right? And
UFC fight, he fought on the card, right?
Yeah, got it done. It was a good fight. I was speaking to him in the changing room, and he basically said, if someone turned up at my door at 2 a.m. and offered me out, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get out of bed. I'm gonna fight them. Do you know what I mean? I think that's kind of a good mentality to have. It's like, it's just we're fighting at that time. You know, it's not. We are athletes in this game, but we're also fighters, and I guess it's having that mentality of like sort of any time, any place, anywhere, right? Like he woke, Bilal woke Leon out of bed, and Leon still had sleep in his eye. You know, he weren't ready to go,
Yeah,
and he should have done.
Well, Bilal, for the American guys, there's back and forth on different opinions on this too, but they're on their time zone. So as much as they've travelled, they ain't really got to adjust, have they? They kind of just keep on doing what they're doing, which makes me. I think, and the other point I was going to make on that is Bilal. I don't think is very big for the weight. Like if you look at him, Khabib said it as well. Apparently, when he started training Khabib was like, "Brother, you need to fight lightweight," and he was like, "Nah, fuck that," and didn't. Obviously, it's worked out. But I think that's an element too. I don't know what you think. Obviously, you're trying to bulk up, so I mean, maybe it's not. But some people, I think, that don't kill themselves to make the weight, and they've got that strong sort of body. I think that plays to your advantage too.
Yeah, I think weight cuts can be horrendous. You know, what did I do? I think I did 5 kegs in the week. Yeah. And even that wasn't very nice. Do you know
And
what
how
I
are you
mean?
doing that? Is that saunas?
No, so I do about 2.5, 3 with like the no carbs, no sodium, and then sweat the rest. And it's relatively easy, but it's not like
it's not a fun
particularly
experience,
enjoyable.
is it? No.
Do you know what I mean? You feel a bit drained.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some boys doing. Some people do 7 kilos the night before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's
I wonder if body type plays into that too, because it's got to affect different people differently, innit?
I think really muscly. If you're like pretty yoked, you can your muscles hold more water. Yeah. So like
it's easy to get out. They say that, don't they?
Yeah.
Like someone like Yoel Romero.
Yeah, you can cut a shit ton. Pereira. Do you know what I mean? Like these big old boys. I think if you're fairly lean, it's a lot harder. Do you know what I mean? You haven't got a lot to.
Well, apparently,
to
if you're a bit tubby and all, that's harder, isn't it? Because you to lose fat in that amount of time is nigh impossible.
Yeah,
and you ain't got
a big old calorie deficit.
Yeah, and you're actually losing weight versus like big guys like Romero. They're not losing it, are they? They're just cutting it off or whatever. But we move on from the Leon one because I think that was one of them ones that everyone's a bit sort of like. And well, before we do, Bilal Muhammad. He's not for me. I don't like that personality.
Yeah, don't
do it for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of his like stuff.
His interviews drive me nuts. I'm not a big fan. You know what I mean? So, what can I say? Disappointing main event. But if we go to the co-main, big Tom Aspinall, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Aspinall, like, it just seems like a great guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, salt of the earth, northern boy. Do you know what I mean?
Seems like a normal fella,
there and just kicking the shit out of all these units from around
the
we
weighed
the
in
globe,
at 254 pounds, I think, which is 18 stone 2. He's 6'5" and he moves like that. It's a problem, isn't it? Fuck me.
It's a problem.
But everyone keeps saying he's going to beat John Jones, and I was a bit like, boys, it's John Jones. But then after that one, I was a bit like, mate, I don't know anyone's going to beat him.
Dare to be, right? You know, he believes in himself. He's got lots of ability. I think we all want to see it.
And I think he believes it now too. If you listen to him a couple of fights ago, there was a little bit of, John Jones, you know, he's great. And now it's a bit like, nah, fuck, I'm the best heavyweight in the world and I'm going to beat him.
Nice.
I just hope it happens because I think the Stipe, to me, the Stipe thing's ridiculous now. Stipe ain't fought for so long.
Yeah.
If I was Dana White, can't you just nix that fight and say, fuck it, get Tom Aspinall?
Yeah. I don't know what like the bureaucry.
There's some deal there, isn't there? There's something going on.
It's got to like revenue or fuck knows what's happening, but if it's meant to happen, it will happen, you know. And listen, if they both keep winning, they're going to fight each other, aren't they? It will.
I hope so, but the thing is, it keeps looking like John Jones might go. See you later. I'm done. Which is, I don't think he can now. I think there's too much hype behind Aspinall. His whole career, his legacy. I mean, will be tarnished if he don't. But I think he might beat John Jones, Tom Aspinall. What do you think?
Yeah, like why not? Do you know what I mean? I think he can absolutely do it. I think John Jones is like the baddest man on the planet.
The best of all time.
Yeah,
I think. He's definitely.
And I think Tom Aspinall is like is behind him at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think if he cracks him, he'd sleep a gorilla. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not. I think he can absolutely win that fight, and I'd be backing him. Do you know what I mean?
I think I'm leaning towards for the first time. I'm like, oh mate, I don't know if anyone beats that, like the size and the speed and whatnot. But I was thinking about why don't they do Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall on the same card? Because Tom Aspinall spoke about it briefly, and then he seems like he's gone back on it.
Same as Stipe.
Well, in the post-fight press conference,
That's a fight,
Aspinall said John Jones and Stipe fight, and why don't me and Alex fight on the same card, and then the two winners will fight each other. But then after that, I think he's gone back on it a bit and like, nah, fuck it, I'm just fighting for the title. So
if I was him, I'd rather, if I could duck Pereira and go straight to fighting for the belt, I'd do that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Dana's already said as well that he's going to be the standby, isn't he? So he's weighing in on that fight card. So if one of them drops out, I mean, not that I wish Stipe bad, but I'd quite like Stipe to come injured for that one and let him fight John Jones, right?
Yeah, all the best, but let's hope Stipe. Yeah, I don't know, breaks his toe or something. Nothing
just
too
twist,
big,
twist his little toe, and he's just limping for a week, and he's
yeah.
fine. But he's 43, ain't fought for 3.5 years, I think. And his last fight was against Ngannou when he got fucking done.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the chances against John Jones.
Unless it's an absolute payday for him. I think I'd rather.
Oh, I understand him doing it. I understand him doing it. I mean, it's more like I don't see this as much of a fight now.
Yeah. I'd like to not do that at 43 and his career. I think I'd
Well,
rather
take
my kids to school. Do you know what I mean? And
live happy ever after.
Do you know what I'm saying? To be like a legend in the game, but if he's got the hunger in him, do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of noughts behind a 7.
That'll talk to you, wouldn't it? That'll talk to you. Well, the other thing as well is hindsight's everything, innit? But it would have been nice if he didn't fight Ngannou and he retired then. He had the most defences record. He'd already beaten Ngannou. He could have sort of sailed up, but hey, it is what it is, isn't it? And now Ngannou's in that fucking situation. But there's two things I want to bring up with the heavyweight. Obviously, the Pereira one. Has Pereira got much of a chance at heavyweight, or what do you think?
What's he fought at? He's fought middleweight
and light heavyweight.
Heavy.
But his last fight at light heavy, they weigh in at 93 kilos, and he weighed in on the scales on the day of the event at 104.
Yeah.
Now 104 is fucking big, man. Like, you know what I mean? And he's cut before, so he's probably 110.
He's a giant. Do you know what I mean? He's an Amazonian giant.
Have you seen the fight with him next to Tyson Fury? I've spoken about it on here before.
Yeah, I think I have.
He's huge. He's like a little bit shorter. He's got a bigger head, bigger hands, and it's like, mate, he's big.
I think he can do bits, and he's a freak. Do you know what I mean? And I also think he's like he's a striking genius. Do you know what I mean? He sees. He sees shit that other people don't see. So I think he's a big problem in there as well.
I want to see it. I just want to see it. I want to see it happen before it don't happen. Do you know what I mean? Before one of them gets beat, which is why I wanted to fight Aspinall. But comment below, tell me if I'm batshit crazy, which could be the case. But if Tom Aspinall gets, so let's just assume that John Jones beats Stipe.
Yeah.
John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, mate. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think I'm always going to back like the hometown boy, really.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going different. I thought he was going to back John Jones.
I'm a patriot in the world of UK MMA.
I got you. Like, you out on St George's Day with a flag and all that, You're one of them lunatics.
Less so, do you know what I mean? I'm here, not rioting with like the nutters around the world at the moment. But in terms of UK MMA, like I'm backing the guy from the United Kingdom, you know, and let's go get this done. Mr. Aspinall.
Big Aspinall. Yeah. Boom. Heard it here first, kids. So, other one is Paddy. Paddy the Baddie versus, I was going to say Bobby Green, King Green.
Yeah.
Do me a favour, right?
Yeah.
But he's King Green, God bless him. Yeah. He shit the bed, right? Something went wrong there. That takedown was a bit weird.
I think Paddy's starting to like, there's a lot of people doubt him, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of hate on him. Yeah. And, you know, he has like, he's beaten everyone they've put in front of him, you know, and that's all you can do
Jared Gordon.
As a fighter.
Jared Gordon.
Yeah, close. But I think submission-wise, it was pretty fucking textbook. Do you know what I mean? It looked great. Guillotine into a triangle, into an armbar. You know, it's like he's obviously not shit. Well done, the Paddy.
Yeah, I think he's got something. He's limited in certain areas by the looks of it, right? But again, it's easy to say from watching it, isn't it, when you ain't feeling him. But there's definitely something special about him, isn't there? In terms of like his belief,
he's got the aura,
he's something.
You know?
Yeah, he's got that weird something. But he's like, you know. But I've spoken to someone who was in a gym with him recently, and I was in a gym with the person recently, and they'd trained with him back in the day, and they said he's quite surprisingly big for the weight, like in terms of height. He's sort of getting on for 6 foot and quite a big guy, which I think. When he gets fat, you just see him as like a bit of a joke, right? But when he's in shape like that, at lightweight...
Yeah, he looked like a stud in there, do you know what I mean? And he looked big.
He looked to me as well, this fight. I don't know what you think. He looked like he turned a bit of a corner this fight too. It was like an evolution. It was like a step up. Because I thought he might lose this one. I thought he could win it, but after this, I thought it was tough. But after seeing that, you go, I don't know, man. Like,
this could be it.
Looked pretty good.
I think every athlete has to, right? You have to... as the game's progressing and you're progressing, you need to be leveling up your stuff, you know. And he's top 15 now. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I can imagine, you know, Paddy's like a kid, you know, Scouser from like wherever he's from in Liverpool. The whole world knows him. Like that is going to that's a big distraction. Do you know what I mean? And you know, he might have might have got to him a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But now I guess it's like he's in the league with the big boys, so it's like full focus. Do you know what I mean? He's got to be full focus now.
And like obviously he ain't hurting for a pound note now either, is he? With that level of thing, and I think
Cakes.
that can hinder obviously. Can't it? We've seen that a million times. But it can help also, right? Because you can isolate yourself. You can bring in training partners. You ain't got to worry about turning up to like a midday jiu-jitsu classes party camp.
I don't have to teach like kids on a Friday.
You ain't showing a De La Riva on a Monday morning.
Do you know what I mean? My nutrition's completely on point. Do you know what I mean? And
he's got a chef in the house, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I think like money definitely helps pro athletes.
Do you think he'll be champion?
No.
No, I don't.
No,
I think there's a few people in that division that are...
Yeah, he's got it's arguably the most stacked division like on the roster, right?
I mean, well, the reality is this also, at that level, when they're cutting that much and they're doing the right thing, that's about, lightweight is about the size of an average man, right? I mean, it sounds small because it's light, but it's not, right? The average man worldwide, probably cutting and in shape, is about that size, isn't they? So, like, you've got a massive pool to choose from. But the thing is this, like, I don't see, you tell me, I don't see anyone at the moment beating Islam, do you?
Not really, no. No, and I don't really see Paddy beating like the 4 guys below Islam either.
No, that's what I'm getting at. I think there's a little crowd there that is like it's tough going. And going back just briefly to Bobby King, whatever your name is, Green. That takedown was like, because he's not a bad fighter by any stretch. He's world level to a top 15 for sure, but. That takedown was like fucking amateur hour, wasn't it? That was like the sort of thing you'd see teaching a class on a Wednesday and go, hey, bro, let's sort that shit out. What is that? Is that just the star power in front of him that sort of made him panic?
I think everyone can have a bad day, right?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. I guess it was just one of them. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a textbook takedown. It can. Fight night can get to you. There's loads of that I'm nowhere near their level at the moment. But my win was pretty convincing, Although I got taken down twice and blah blah. I've watched it back. There's loads of little mistakes that I made. Do you know what I mean? Legs too far off the cage. I got hip tossed twice. There's a time I gave him my back. I put my arm up like this. He could have choked me. Like there's it's hard to be perfect. Do you know what I mean? I guess Bobby Green just like fucked it at the wrong time.
King Green, son. King Green. How dare you? You know, you say his name right. You know, respect.
Messiah Green.
Yeah, exactly, Messiah Green. Yeah, but he's it's an interesting one. I found that quite a strange fight. But let's talk about Nathaniel as well. I was going to say them 3, but he's your boy by the sound.
That's it. I watch more of the undercards. You know. To the Modestus, who like a very good friend of mine. That I was like elated at his win. And Nathaniel, they were the 2 that I really wanted to see, you know.
Because Nathaniel's been in the UFC a long time now, hasn't he? And I know briefly a little bit. I don't know him personally, but I used to train with another guy, Harry Cloudfoot. Shout out Harry. He moved to Canada. He was like a wrestling buddy of mine. We was like 2 oddballs meeting up in the middle of the day and having a wrestle. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
But he moved to Canada. But anyway, I think he was quite good pals with him, and he used to always speak about him before he was sort of known, like when he was getting signed in the UFC. So I've been aware of him and I've sort of watched his UFC career. But tell us, man, what was it like?
It's just great seeing like. One of like the highest level guys at the gym performing so well on the big stage, you know what I mean? His success, like that reverberates through all of us, do you know what I mean? When people are winning in the gym and we're all training together, it's I think everyone starts to believe that we're winners, do you know what I mean? Our coaches are outstanding, our facilities are outstanding, our athletes are outstanding. And they're winning at like the highest level. It's like we can all fucking do this.
You'll get a bit of a rub of it, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. And so it's like we were super pleased.
That's cool, man.
Super pleased for him.
And because he's gone up in weight, right? I think he's had 2 fights now at February. Is it 3?
He did essentially the thing we were just talking about, where it's like fuck cutting the obscene amounts of weight, and be strong and fit and healthy and awake in there.
How big is he? Because I've never met him in person.
I don't know. He's not my weight. What weight class does Nathaniel fight?
He fights at 145 now.
Yeah.
He was 135 before.
Do you know about that build?
He looks like right for that.
Yeah.
Because I think he struggled at 35 before, didn't he? There's the photo of him. I don't know if anyone's seen it online. I'm sure it's set, where he's emaciated, but he's got like every part of his body's got a vein spiraling out of it.
I think he still had a bit to do in that video as well. So, yeah. Yeah, I think like it's a good place for him to be. You know?
Shout out Nathaniel Wood,
Yeah,
up the boys. But he's there's another guy actually. I've been speaking a little bit, trying to get him on a podcast. I forget his surname. The Scottish heavyweight, Louis.
Sutherland.
That's the guy, Louis Sutherland. Shout out Louis Sutherland. I've had a bit of back and forth. We're trying to get him on. We're speaking. We're going to speak in a couple of weeks. Getting on. Have you come in contact with him?
Yeah,
because I've a couple of podcasts I spoke to him, and they said he's a funny character.
He calls me Big Lou, and I'm like, come on, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm completely dwarfed by him, but yeah, great dude. Absolute beast.
Top, man. He seems like a character. I've not met him, but
he's good stuff, man. I think definitely.
He posted something the other day that I laughed at, and we had a message back and forth. Not the most politically correct thing in the world, so we'll probably keep it a bit hush. But he's shout out Louis Sutherland. Get you on here soon, mate.
Yeah, you might have to that might have to come with like an age warning.
Is that right? Yeah, we put that like over 25s only.
Yeah, that's it. But no, he's good stuff.
But there's some characters out there in the game. And is there anyone coming up at sort of top team or elevate where you train?
Lonnie Kavanagh. He fights in on the Contender Series next Tuesday.
Oh, he does.
Tuesday,
okay, wow.
Which is the 13th. That's also my birthday.
And so for anyone who doesn't know the Contender Series, that's sort of almost like an audition, isn't it? So winning and losing isn't so much the thing as much as your performance.
He wins that. He's in the UFC, you know.
How old is he?
25.
So coming into it, not even in his prime yet.
Yeah, 25. I think he's the most obvious.
What weight's he at, mate?
What weight does Lon fight at? Flyweight. Yeah.
Bosh, 57 kilos, and we got the flex off from Frankie over there, so he's jacked.
That's super exciting for everyone. You know,
that gives the gym a
buzz,
buzz, right?
Mates with him, do you know what I mean? And it's like amazing seeing. He's been about it since like his birth. Do you know what I mean? And, and this is like always hard work.
Where is he from? Around this area?
Yeah, Isleworth boy.
Yeah.
Super exciting. But there's loads of up and comers at top team. Everyone on that, it is a lion's den. Yeah, it's a lion's den, and everyone in there wants to be the best, or at least the best version they can be, right? Mm-hmm. And we all fucking push each other and. Like, watch this space. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
is it a hard training environment in terms of like pushing?
Hard.
It's on every day. Is the one.
It's fucking hard. Do you know what I mean? And it's also like, listen, they're the family, and my brothers are there. Do you know what I mean? I sweat with them, I bleed with them, and we all have a laugh and a joke afterwards. But like, we train hard. Do you know what I mean? And it's how it should be. In my opinion.
Man, you give me the old pins and needles. Makes me want to come down there and
get
involved.
I think particularly the wrestling day, you'd fucking love it. The wrestling on a Monday, we do like a load of technique, and then it's 8-5s, so pure wrestling.
Right.
And
8-5.
8-5s, yeah. And we and it's, you want to do all the hard work. Do you know what I mean? Like I knew going into that fight that my knowing that my conditioning, isn't an issue, is like allows you to just fight. Do you know what I mean?
Just be what you are.
Yeah, I can just fight and work my shit because like I'm not running out of juice. Yeah. And I don't even think I was sweating after round one. Do you know what I mean? I hadn't broken a sweat.
Almost round one, bro.
Almost round one. Like, and that's it's not 5-minute rounds, but like we train for 5s and we do fuck loads of them. Do you know what I mean? And it's the spot for me.
That's it. What was it like at daytime? Because evenings are tough for me. I'd love to get down.
Yeah. The daytime is like, the evening. I believe is where you do your more technical work. It's where you get there's hobbyists in like your average gym that are training 3 hours a night. Do you know what I mean? And they're really fucking good. But like the hard training for me is between 10 and 12 o'clock.
Right. Okay. So that's clever. That's very sort of professional, isn't it? Like you train hard in the day and then at night, coming back and you play around
technical work. Yeah. I do most of my techie stuff here at Elevate. Is my home, but I like go there in the morning and.
Have a tear up.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then I can then analyse everything that like where my holes are and come here and be like, Dean, Tommy, like how do I like what happens in this situation? Do you know what I mean? I need to work this, blah blah. And I've got a good set.
Because relatively new, I think, as well, GB top team.
Yeah, I think they were. Years or so. That Jimmy's. They've been. They were like floating around gyms when they didn't have a space,
So they were like running classes in gyms?
Yeah. Or like they had their squad. They trained here a little bit. They trained over at Stronger in Wimbledon. So I can remember when I started MMA, really, I started training properly. I saw a picture of them all, and I was like, I want to be in that crew. Do you know what I mean? That's where I want to get to.
They was like the cool kids at the
yeah,
time.
yeah, and now I'm there, you know, and it's really cool.
And it's
to
Brad
sort of
Pickett as well for
observe
everyone who
that.
doesn't know, right? Is he around? Is he in there?
Yeah, but Brad's coach. Do you know what I mean? He's head coach.
Oh, he's still on it, like active.
Yeah, 100%. Him and Ash.
I spoke to Ashley recently again, trying to get him on the podcast.
Yeah,
so
he'd be a great dude to get on. I'd love to hear that. And Brad's if he was up for doing it.
Love to get him on, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, both incredibly high-level coaches. They're on the floor with us. They absolutely are not background staff. Do you know what I mean?
That's great, isn't it? That's good.
Yeah, they're always. If I've got an issue, I'm like, look, this keeps happening. What do I do? It might be the most basic thing, and they look at me with like a degree of contempt at my like ineptitude around a certain position.
Like when you ask about a fried jab.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like your jiu-jitsu's trash. They've got our back.
That's good, isn't it? And for anyone who doesn't know, Brad Pickett, long-time UFC fighter, actually beat the GOAT, didn't he? Demetrius Johnson. So look him up.
Convincingly.
Yeah, he did back in the day, wasn't it? Before Demetrius Johnson was sort of well known. He took an hiding off Brad. And there we go. But so if you're looking forward now, sort of if you're looking forward to your next camp, how does sort of a week schedule, if you don't mind telling us, like in terms of the gyms you're in, the strength and conditioning, all that kind of shit, and how far out as well from a fight is ideal?
So I like to do about 8 weeks.
Not too long, so nice and fresh.
About an 8-week camp. I don't want to make this too much. I'll wrestle hard on a Monday. Monday I usually grapple. And I may lift as well. Some of them will be hard rounds, some will be maybe some more technical rounds. Tuesday is sparring, sort of hard sparring, spar hard on a Tuesday. Depending on how that looks, there might be some conditioning in the afternoon. Wednesday, I'll grapple again and do some technical striking work. Thursday, I'll spar again in camp and try and like keep a little lid on the rounds, you know what I mean? Nothing too mental. And then some positional, like MMA rounds. Fridays wall wrestling. And then I'll, hit pads or... It's sort of 2 sessions every day, do you know what I mean? I'll have one day where I do nothing. There might be one where I do one. If I need another rest day, I think it takes... your anxiety can fuel you to overtrain. I think it takes confidence to take extra rest days. If I need them, I take them. But yeah, there's usually a hard session, a lighter one, and a few times a week I'll be doing some sort of S&C. I see Grip Point, Sonny, I don't know his second name. He's quite well. He'd be a cool one to get on as well. I think he'd be up for doing it.
Grip Point Sonny, give us a shout, man. Let's get on.
To you. He's like been training MMA fighters for years. I do like a pretty disgusting conditioning session with him on a Wednesday when I'm in camp, where he's essentially just redlining the tank. But they're invaluable. Do you know what I mean? You know that you can go to the place. Do you know what I mean? I can function fucked. That's kind of how.
Keep it simple. It sounds like by the sound of it, right? Don't reinvent the wheel and just turn up and train. Get on with it.
Train hard. Do you know what I mean? Negate injury. Make sure you ass up in sparring. Don't get cut. And get to the fight.
Do you spar in MMA gloves?
Yes. Yeah.
Controlled, I'm assuming.
6 ounce, and we still got pretty hard in the MMA gloves. Usually there'll be some boxing rounds, some kickboxing rounds, and then 5-5 MMA.
And then 5-5 MMA, so heavy session.
We push the tank. Do you know what I mean? That's why we're elite fitness when we get in there. We're not running out of juice.
So your last fight was 3-minute rounds. Was it scheduled for 3 or 5?
5.
So for you, with all that conditioning, is like you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah. I would have been great. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I actually feel by round 3 is when I'm like the engine's fucking really ticking over. Then do you know what I mean? And I'm better in those sort of like last few rounds. Sometimes not as well. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes why I'm absolutely lagging round 4 and 5. But
that's life, huh?
Yeah. I felt great. This was a really good camp. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
It was great camp.
But that's cool, man. So what gyms are you at? You're at Elevate. You're at Top Team.
Elevate and Top Team, really.
You don't go anywhere specifically to wrestle and stuff.
Nah, not really. I used to go to Prometheus quite a lot, and I'm going to try and get there a little bit more. Ray Stevens. I've got a great coach, Mikey Farrow. I'd get him on here.
I
I'll
know
write
we
you a
spoke.
list
I've
afterwards.
messaged him. He ignored me,
Yeah.
Mikey, because we both
Yeah,
coach
yeah.
at Cheam, so I know him a
Yeah,
little bit. Like, I've
nice.
met him recently.
Yeah.
But he's a cool guy. But he
Yeah.
blanked me, so fuck you, Mikey.
Yeah, he might have just like, I don't know, got distracted watching
nah.
like Uchimata videos.
I don't blame
or
him. Yeah, I don't
something,
blame him.
man.
Yeah, no, I'm messing
Speed.
about. But I'd love to get him on. Yeah.
Yeah, he. There's a wrestling session that he takes on a Thursday at Ray Stevens. That's
This the one
fucking
in New
really
Malden,
great.
is it?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And that's like, we've got some good guys there. Alfie Davis started coming there quite regularly.
Spoke to him yesterday. He's going to come on.
Yeah,
Bless
nice.
him.
You know, having a guy like that in the room is amazing.
Yep.
There's loads of other really good guys there, and I find that wrestling session a little bit more. It's like more of a chess match. You know what I mean? I can really try shit and flow through.
Okay?
It's less like fucking balls to. Although, again, if you want to go balls to the wall, you can. But
I think both are important.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you need the mix.
I think you do need the mix.
Yeah,
You do need the sessions where you kind of like pick, poke, like.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's figure it
looking
out.
for little stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy, I won't say his name, but if I say Muay Thai shorts, anyone that was there will know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a young kid, turned up to wrestling class today that I was teaching. He's in his Muay Thai shorts, so everyone knows he does Muay Thai as well, you know, like one of them. And then he's
letting everyone know.
Well,
right?
he's young, and after 3 rounds, he's got cramp and he needs to sit on the wall. And it was like, come on, bro, what's going on here? You show pony.
Get yourself back in
exactly,
back
yeah.
in the
So we
game.
get him some technical sessions, but no, he's a great kid. He knows. I won't mention his name. He knows who he is. But you're still coaching as well. Do you coach in camp or you have it off?
Yeah. No, I try and work less.
Yep.
So like I'll take less PTs if I can get covered. We're all pretty good. You know, we've got a little circle of us that all fight.
And what sort of PTs are you doing,
coaching.
mate? Is they full MMA or various?
Various, you know, a lot of pads, a lot of kickboxing.
Does that take it out of you though, like in camp?
Yeah, it can do. I also find it really fun, yeah, and like really
Okay.
rewarding, particularly with like slightly younger lads. You know, I've got good sort of like 14, 15, 16-year-olds that do one-on-ones or like 2-on-1s, and like seeing their growth is super rewarding. Do you know what I mean? I was like up to all sorts of craziness at that age, and it would have been really cool if I had a me doing that stuff with me then. Do you know what I mean? So I do, although it can be taxing, it's super rewarding. But yeah, I try and work less in camp, you know. And the last 2 weeks, it's like I'm not available for anyone. Do you know what I mean? We're
You got one.
we're homed in.
What's the last week?
My pro fight will probably be very different. It might be like I'm on. You'll be lucky if I've got a phone on me.
Yeah,
you know,
I
that
got you.
8-week camp.
And is
you know
that?
what I mean?
I'm assuming that's the plan. Is going forward is to be a full-time pro, not have to teach people.
Yeah. No, because I love it. Do you know what I mean?
When I say that, I
Yeah.
mean don't have to teach him. You teach him if
Yeah,
you want.
nice. Yeah, not reliant. Yeah, to not be reliant on it
Yeah.
would be amazing. Having
Yeah.
to do it by choice,
Yeah.
but yeah, at the moment it's I really enjoy it. You know, so it's like
Good place to be, innit?
Yeah,
It's a
it's
good
a great
place to
place to
be.
be, man.
Yeah. Do you take trips away abroad and all that business, like the Thai trips and all that
Yeah,
shit?
yeah. We went Thailand with a few of the lads from here. You know, we were training twice a day, every day out there.
Where at?
We went to I think this Rage Gym in Pattaya. Pattaya is a fucking crazy place. Trained in Yokan, Bangkok. That was really cool.
Oof, famous gym, yeah.
Yeah, it was wicked there. And then Bang Tao in Phuket. A few other like Muay Thai gyms in Phuket. And it was great. Being around the Thais is amazing and like humbling. And you know, you've got 4-year-olds like hitting the bag with textbook technique. Do you know what I mean? Textbook elbows and kicks, and they're 4. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of like Mecca, you know, for us, right?
What's Bangtao like? Because I've heard great things about it.
Vibe, mate. Yeah, really, really cool. Everyone's like about the same stuff that you are. Do you know what I mean? There's like
They're all there for the same thing.
Yeah, you can get electrolyte water for like £1. Do you know what I mean? Ice baths, I think, cost like about £8. Loads of PTs. Training's amazing. You've got athletes from all around the world. Is it the Whitman brothers?
Hickman
Hickman brothers. They're really cool guys. Coaches are elite. Bodies are amazing. Facilities amazing. You walk down the road, you can get like, you know, 2 meals for like the equivalent of £3. Do you know what I mean? So
good
like,
meals as well, isn't
yeah,
it? Clean.
Yeah. It's all clean, bro. Like, I loved Thailand. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could definitely I could happily spend, you know, a longer duration of time out there.
Yeah, I've been Thailand. I've been 4 times, but one time I got deathly ill and was in hospital and like thought I was dying.
I had one rough day out there, man.
Oh mate, it was brutal.
It
was brutal. Like, I mean, I thought I was dying, and then like drips and wouldn't let me fly. I had to get signed off, and I had to pay. Probably, well, fuck it. I had to pay one of the doctors extra little bit of money to sign me off to let me fly, and all that. You know, craziness. And then I got home with the pills they gave me, and I had to go. My GP referred me to the tropical disease clinic in fucking central London, and you go in there, and for anyone who's been there, there's a geezer there like with green pus coming out of his eye.
That's crazy.
And you're like, fucking hell. But anyway, I go in there, and they took the pills off me, and they was like, give me them, threw them straight in the bin. And I was like, well, and they was like, we wouldn't give a horse that in this country. They're fucking, don't take them. I was like, oh, all right. And you know,
they've got their own rules out there, you know, in Thailand.
Well, because the Thai people don't go to the private hospitals because it's too expensive for them because of their cost of living. But for my whole stay was the equivalent of something around, I might be a bit wrong, but somewhere around 400 quid. So not a major, do you know what I mean? But for the point I say is because they're big, clean private hospitals with no one in them. So you go there and you get the treatment, but they're very much like, you know, do you speak English? They go, yeah. And then they rattle something off and you're like, you don't speak English. You know what I mean? It's like one of them deals.
Okay.
And I had the old COVID thing before COVID was a thing. This was before the pandemic, where a big, hefty set nurse stood behind me and grabbed my head, and the other one shoved it up your nose, and you go, whoa. And before she did it, I went, what's this like? Is this bad? She went, very bad. You know, you go, fucking. I'm like, where am I? I'm by myself in Thailand. Yeah, great. But good memories in Thailand as well. Are you planning on going back there? Is that one of them places?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'll be many times throughout my life. Do you know what I mean? I'll be.
Because I want to experience Bangtao is why I asked you.
Yeah, Bangtao. It's great.
There was another training partner of mine, I won't name him, but you know you are, you coward. He was out there and he had the chance to train with Darren Till. He was training with him, but then it came to sparring and Darren Till said, like, oh, you know, I won't do the accent. Do you want to train, lad? And he went, nah, pulled my knee or whatever and sat out. I thought, fuck, man, that was your chance. That was your one day.
I guess pick your battles, but I probably would have said yes.
You've got to say yeah, right? You're there. What's going to happen? Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't try and kill you. Do you know what I mean?
And even if he does, so what? Have a go. Let's have a tear up. You're in Thailand and enjoy yourself. But he rolled over and said no, so you know you are. But yeah, so in terms of going forward, mate, like let's say everything goes well. We're at back end of next year. You're 4-5-0 as a pro. UFCs are knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Where let's be like, forget realism if you like, is what I'm trying to say. Let's like, what's your real ambition if there was no limitations? What are you looking at?
I want pro world titles. That's what I want. Do you know what I mean? I want to go. I want a pro world title. I want to do my bit in this MMA world, and then I want to put my gloves in the centre of the octagon and walk away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it is my whole life at this moment in time, and like, and I want belts. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in it to be a journeyman. You know, I want to like smash everybody, you know, and that's the goal. And I'm only going to get there from turning up, you know, every day.
Have you got a time frame in line in terms of when you want to retire?
I think around mid 30s.
Oh, really? Fairly young?
Yeah.
Wow. So you got to get a move on. It's coming fast,
I've got to get a move on, man.
Yeah. You don't want to do the steep bay and fight John Jones at 43?
Who knows? Do you know what I mean? Who knows what like the like sat here right now? I like the idea of being like sweet world title 35. See you later. Do you know what I mean?
Have you got any ambition in weight of going up as well, or are you a career?
No, I'll be well
Simple as that. Yeah.
If I was going to go anywhere, it'd be down. But I don't.
Could you make down? Fuck me.
Yes, I could do it, but it wouldn't be very nice.
That wouldn't be, that's a whole lifestyle change.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a fun
I'd have to diet outside of camp, and it would just be a bit shit. I think welterweight for me is the weight.
Nice. All right, mate.
Yeah,
well, appreciate you, man. This has been a good one as
man.
always. Maybe we'll get you back on again. And I haven't mentioned already. Still the most viewed episode we've done, and not just the most viewed episode, by about 6 times as well, by far.
So let's hope this one.
So let's hope. That's the only reason I get him. I don't really like him. I just want to get him up on the views. But nice one, mate. I really appreciate you. We put all your links below and anything. Always finish like this, mate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.